Welcome to the Imaginative Storm Writing Prompt of the Week session. I'm James Nave,
I'm Allegra Houston.
and every Saturday and Thursday we gather with a group of folks and we generate a piece of writing, and that's what we would like to do for you today.
So, this is how we do it. Nave and I choose a prompt to offer to the group. We put it up on the screen for 2 minutes, and we ask everyone on the call, on the Zoom call, to generate a list of words, not joined up writing, just a list of words or short phrases, whatever pops into your head.
So that's what we're going to ask you to do now. And when the image comes up, just relax. We'll keep the time, 2 minutes. Don't worry about that. Just relax and generate whatever your imagination inspires you to generate. So your 2 minutes begins right now. So now you have your personal list, and that also happens for everybody on the Saturday and the Thursday calls. We also have a community list. So the way that works, we go around the Zoom room and we invite everybody to give us a word or a phrase, and we all jot those words and phrases down. So at the end of the loop around the Zoom room, everybody has a community list that we all share, and the personal list, which belongs only to them. And so what we'd like to do now is to give you our community list, and Allegra will read that for you. So here you go.
Nice thing about the community list is you get to borrow from other people's imagination. You have these spontaneously generated words that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise, perhaps. So here's today's list. Which way is up? Clowns beware. Leaping lizards. All over. When the cat's away. Spine twist. Circus, circus. Jump for joy. Oh my, I just can't stop. Free to be. Hooray, playtime. Gray crabs. Life cartwheels by. High stakes exercise. Imagine having to do that for eternity. Star somersaulter. Black and white. Cute boys. Dizzy. Effervescent. Upside down, you're turning me. On one hand, then the other. Did I? Groundhog Day.
So there you go. That's our community list. And even though we spend an hour on the calls, Thursday and Saturday, we only spend 10 minutes generating the material. So that's what we're going to do with you now. We're going to give you an opportunity to experience what we experience on our Zoom calls. So Allegra is going to tell you exactly how that works.
So, in the next 10 minutes, and again, we will do the timing for you, we invite you to write anything. And notice I didn't say whatever you want. Don't, you can write whatever you want, but without the wanting part of it. We encourage you to not know what you're going to write before you start writing, to just let your eyes roam over the two lists of words until your imagination gets intrigued by one of those, and it'll kind of stay there. It'll be like it's like a fish on a hook. It won't want to go elsewhere. So that's your starting point. And from that starting point, you can depart from the lists of words entirely if you like. You don't have to use any of them at all if you don't want to. Or you can keep coming back to the lists and, letting your imagination settle on other words on the list to bring into what you're writing and play with them. So the idea of this, it really is playtime. It's not supposed to be good because you only wrote it in 10 minutes. How can it be good? But what it can do is surprise you. It can be a 10 minutes in which your rational mind takes the back seat or the passenger seat and lets your imaginative mind drive the car. And maybe it'll go whirling around all over the place. Who knows? Just stick with it and see where your imagination can take this as you write.
And we're going to time for you. So all you have to do is settle in and begin writing, and you can do that right now. So you have generated in 10 minutes something that didn't exist 10 minutes ago. You're looking at it now. Here's what we would like for you to do. And this is what we do on the Saturday and Thursday calls as well. We ask everybody to read their work aloud. On our calls, we go into Zoom rooms and we share the work with six people, usually six or seven. So here, maybe you have somebody in your room listening, or maybe you're alone. But what we would like for you to do is put us on pause and read your work aloud. And before you do that, remember, when you are speaking aloud, you will have all kinds of insights that pop up around what you can do with the work. So feel free to maybe even do a little improvisational work. Add something if you feel moved to do that. See what happens and let the voice be a collaboration with your imagination as well as your rational mind, sort of a third thing happening right now. So put us on pause and read what you wrote aloud.
We hope you did read what you wrote aloud, even if it was to an empty room, because that room isn't empty. You're in it, and you are your most important audience. When you read your work aloud, you develop a different kind of relationship with your writing. You become less critical and more tender, kind of like a parent with a child, which sometimes behaves really well and sometimes doesn't. And that's just the deal. And it's the deal when you're writing as well. You don't always write something you think is absolutely great, but when you develop this tender relationship with your writing, you're more forgiving. You calm your inner critic. And also, what you do is you retrain your inner critic to not be criticizing your work in comparison to the polished, edited, published work of other writers. But your critic can be usefully telling you, well, did you let your imagination take the lead? Are you surprising yourself? It can be your kind of, it can be your mentor, your coach, as to whether you're following the pattern that is the most generative, the most imaginatively generative. Oh my gosh, if I could only speak today, the most imaginatively generative for your writing. So please do, as you go forward with imaginative storm writing prompts, take the reading aloud part is an absolutely integral part of our method. And before we go further, I just want quickly to, sorry, Nave, I just want to quickly credit where that image came from. It's the screensaver that Starbucks have on their mobile ordering tablet. So it's just for Starbucks employees. It's not for the public. And that little guy cartwheels back and forth until somebody sends in a mobile order, and then the mobile order appears on that screen. But I happened to notice it at the Starbucks in Terminal E at DFW Airport last week, which is not a very busy terminal and therefore not a very busy Starbucks. And they weren't getting any mobile orders in, and it was turned so that I could see that from the outside, and I just thought it was so charming. So I hope you enjoyed working with it. Thank you
And
to the folks at Terminal East Starbucks, by the way, who took the video for me.
And one of the things that propels our Saturday and Thursday calls along, people, when they finish writing and read their work aloud, they really like what they read. And the people on the calls enjoy hearing it. It's really entertaining and it's insightful and sometimes quite profound. So if you find yourself feeling moved in that direction of liking the work that you just generated, we have an opportunity for you to post your work in our community. It's called the Imaginative Storm Circle community. And the way you find it, you go to imaginativestorm.com, and in the menu, you will see community. Just click that, and you will have all the information you need to join our community, our circle community. It's free. You can just join it, put your material in there, and see what everybody else is generating. And we'll be able to visit with your work and hopefully maybe one day you'll come on one of our Zoom calls and we can visit with you and your work in person.
They're also free. As Nave mentioned, they're on Saturdays and Thursdays. The Saturday is at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is noon Eastern. The Thursday is at 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully one of those times will work for you. We have people who Zoom in from Australia and Tokyo and England and South Africa. And the different time zones, obviously the different times suit different time zones better. So it is free. You are absolutely welcome to join. You will not be out of place. You will not feel overwhelmed by all these incredible writers, because most of them didn't describe themselves as writers before they came to the call. And most of them we've actually we hadn't ever met in person for a while, but now we're doing some live in-person workshops, and so people have come to those. So now we've met more people in person than we had 2 months ago. But please do come. You will be able to find the Zoom links in the footer at imaginativestorm.com. So it's on every page. And you will also get them if you join our mailing list. You'll get them in our newsletter, which will be in your inbox on Thursday and Saturday mornings. And there will also be usually another newsletter during the week as well, with other thoughts on writing, which we hope might be inspiring or helpful to the people who read them.
So thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, I'm on a back porch in Asheville, North Carolina, and Allegra is in Taos, New Mexico. So
Congratulations.
we are all somewhere. And so wherever you are, thanks for being there in the world. Lean into what you're up to, write some stuff, and come back very soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.